Hello, this is Dr. Malego, and in this lesson we're going to take a look at how to create a major scale. So in the past you have already learned the note names, and what we're going to be doing is looking at the note names and how they can create a scale, and we're going to listen to a scale. So we're going to start with a C, and we're going to put that C right here. That C is the same as this key right here on the piano. So that's the sound of that C. When we're building a major scale, it's built on a pattern of whole steps and half steps. So the easiest way to look at whole steps and half steps is actually to use the piano keyboard. And that's why I drew one here for you. So if we're looking at a whole step, this is C right here. A whole step, actually the easiest way to look at it is to look at a half step first. So the half step is going to be this key, which I'm filling in and creating to become even blacker. And this is one of the black keys on the piano. This is going to be C sharp. And you can see it's pretty close. It's just a half step away right there. So that's going to be a half step. The next half step is going to be from that black key to the next white key. And that next white key is going to be D. So we have a half step to this key, a whole step to this key. To create a major scale, we're going to have patterns. It's going to have a pattern that we're going to want to memorize, and it's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And that W stands for whole, and the H stands for half, and that indicates the distance, the interval between the two notes, or the distance between the two notes. So from C to C sharp, which is this key here, sounds like that. From C to D, sounds like this. So the half step is, and the whole step is, oh, I'm taking away my whole steps and half steps. So when we're going to go to the next interval, so we have a whole step, we need another whole step. So from D, we're not going to go to this black key because that would only be half step. We're going to go to the next whole step, which is E. We can draw that on the staff, and again, we've already learned the letter names in a previous lesson. So now we need a half step. When we're looking for a half step, we're looking for neighboring keys on the piano. What's interesting is when we look from E and we go to look to F, which would be the next note to the right or higher on the keyboard, there is no black note there. So that means this next white key is going to be the half step. Now, depending on what key you're in, we're making the C major scale. But if we were making an F major scale or a G major scale or any other scale, there may be times when the next note in the scale actually would be one of the black notes because it would be a half step away. And if it was time, if right now when we were looking for a half step, we were, say, on this note, then the half step would be a black key. So now we're looking for a whole step, and similarly to when we were going from C to D or from D to E, to go from F, we're going to go to G, and then that's also going to be right here on the staff. Then we're going to go to A, which is going to be right here on the staff. And we need another whole step. We're going to go to B. There we go. And then we need a half step, and just like when we were going from E to F, going from B to C will give us a half step. And so that's going to give us the major scale. The major scale is going to sound like this. For the purposes of this text, we're just going to understand that that's the pattern, the whole steps and the half steps, and we're going to know that this is what the C major scale sounds like. There are a lot of other types of scales. We have minor scales, we have modes that we'll learn about later, but the C major scale is just giving you the sound of the major scale. Again, we can build a major scale starting on any key on the keyboard. We could build a major scale on this key. We could build a major scale on this key. And the keys just representing notes, and these scales can be played on any instrument, and they can be sung as well. So hopefully that will help you have just a little bit of an introduction to major scales. Thanks.